Newly released body cam video shedding more light on the seconds right before the attempted assassination on former President Donald Trump. The video shows the moment local police go to the building where the gunman is spotted on the rooftop. One officer is boosted up to the roof by another officer, but then quickly retreats after seeing the gunman. Seconds later, the gunman opens fire on the stage, killing one man, injuring Donald Trump along with two others. In the meantime, and the aftermath, police can be heard complaining that no one was guarding the roof with a clear view of the stage.
I told them they need to post the guys over here. I told them that the Secret Service. I told them that Tuesday. I told them to post guys over here.
Well, that complaint appears to contradict what the interim Secret Service director told lawmakers on Capitol Hill last week, saying that the roof was left to local police to secure, not Secret Service. Well, former President Donald Trump has healed, and he spent an hour taking questions on Thursday, and he had a lot to say on several topics.
Doug Luzader is in Washington, joins us live this morning on a Friday. Doug, good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right. We've seen in the past how Trump seems to really kind of enjoy back and forth sparring with the media during these kinds of news conferences. What kind of reaction is his appearance getting from yesterday? What are some of the main headlines coming out of it?
Well, you know, I think that the thing about this press conference is that the purpose of it seems to have been just to simply hold a press conference of some kind, to draw a contrast with Kamala Harris, who doesn't really do press conferences or sit-down interviews, at least not since launching her campaign. And this is something the media starting to grumble about a little bit. And Harris finally did actually answer some questions from reporters yesterday. It was very brief, lasted a little over a minute. But nevertheless, it was an opportunity for at least some interaction. And the one thing that came out of this was an agreement, it sounds like, for the two of them to debate on September 10th. That's the original debate that was proposed and accepted by the Trump and Biden campaigns, was to be the second debate between Trump and Biden. So it looks like for now they're going to stick with that debate and that venue.
And do we know if they've stuck to the same format? We talked a lot about some changes that were made for that original format, some that kind of benefit either candidate.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they still have to go through some negotiations here to figure out exactly what this is going to look like. You know, in the original debate, there had been a question about whether the candidates would be seated or standing, whether there would be a live audience, things of that nature. So we don't know if they have worked everything out. But the date and the venue, that's probably the most critical part of this. And it seems as though they're in agreement, at least as far as the calendar is concerned.
Doug, you mentioned the fact that one of the reasons that Trump may have done this news conference is to kind of put the pressure on the Harris campaign, that she hasn't done any sit-down interviews or news conferences since she became the nominee. Do you expect that to change? Do you expect her to do a sit-down interview or hold a Q&A?
I don't know. You know, in years past, it would just be unthinkable for a candidate to just simply avoid these kinds of things. But I think the Harris campaign is very happy to stick with what appears to be working for them, which are these big rallies where they're getting a really good turnout at these swing states, and they're able to do a lot of fundraising as well. So, from their perspective, it may be if it ain't broke, why fix it? And there was always a risk in having extended sit-down interviews where you're asked about your positions on things, and they just don't see the need to do it at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it also seems like there's an inherent difference in having a vice president who still has a president who's holding, sit-downs, and you're trying to run for that position. And how do you schedule all of that? All right, thank you, Doug Luzader. We appreciate it.